Sawadee krap. Mark Prophet here in Bangkok. And so this is an update, which is kind of a mess because I've been here a month now. I've got to go to the immigration office this morning to renew my visa. And I had originally planned to do a daily video talking a little bit about first principles, showing some things in Bangkok, maybe sometimes just talking about first principles and just using Bangkok as the background, and other times integrating it. Well, it's been a month, and I have been struggling to get this to happen. So I'm doing this video right now really kind of off the cuff because I shot a really great, awesome video which I screwed up, didn't have any audio for, and I'll try to do that later. But this morning, yesterday and today, I've been borderline having, I'm on the edge of having seizures. So I'm just going to do this video pretty straight off the cuff and give it to you. I'm cooking some food right now because I'm waiting for something else, because I think that may help. I'm not sure if it'll help or not. But one of the problems that I have with the seizures is that I end up not being able to choose things. It's not, when you think of seizures, you think people jumping on the ground and flopping around. That's not exactly what happens in my case. And from what I understand, there's other people who have this kind of problem that I'm having, who've had traumatic brain injuries. And that's that you sort of lose control of your, losing control. So you can actually hear me struggling a little bit to talk. Some of it's motor control, some of it's just getting the thoughts out of my head and getting them into action. Like for instance, I was trying to figure out how to have breakfast. I've got lots of stuff in the refrigerator right now that I could cook, but I'm like stuck trying to decide what to do. Fortunately, I had some leftovers, and I thought that was the easiest thing to do. So, bringing it back to this video that I made, that I will remake, was about measuring. In order to measure stuff, you need to have a point of reference. And so discovering about these seizures gave me a point of reference. The way that it happened, that I actually really figured out what was going on, is that I was pulled over in the United States by the police because they said I was speeding. I was going down the hill and they were at the bottom. It was clearly a trap, which kind of emotionally set me off because it was a trap, and that high emotions plus the cops in the United States are pretty aggressive. They're not your friends in any way at all. Which is one of the reasons I like Thailand. It's like, okay, even if the cops are trying to shake you down for money, it's, you can give them money, no big deal. It's not an issue. They're not going to beat you up. They're not going to throw you in jail. They're not going to try to intimidate you. That's the key issue. They're not going to try to intimidate you. They're just going to try to, worst case, they're going to try to collect some money from you. Oh well, it's just part of, consider it rent. Well, they triggered a huge seizure, which I actually had to park my van after the encounter and go to sleep from it. It was totally overwhelming. So at that point, I then absolutely knew that this was possible, that this kind of thing happened. And I also absolutely knew what led up to it. And I could determine that I had some other signs prior to the triggering event of being pulled over and, questioned and given a ticket. And then that allowed me to sort of go back and listen to what some of my friends had said about noticing some of the behavior I'd have at certain times when I was stressed. And that gave me reference points. So when you're measuring stuff, you need to have at least one reference point, the point that you're starting from, and everything is measured away from. But it's also incredibly important, not helpful, necessary to have a second point that you can measure the distance between so you can calibrate. And And calibration is really, really important for knowing how much progress you have, and then how quickly the progress is, and whether it's changing, and whether it's accurate. So being able to go back and get the more calibration points of my friends saying, well, I noticed on this time, with this situation, that you behave in that way, and I could compare and contrast it and calibrate. Interestingly enough, this is one of the, not to get off on a big long rant or upset anybody, but the backing that a lot of people use, their argument for evolution with the long time periods, is totally flawed because they don't use the calibration correctly. And I won't get into it a whole lot. I could at some time, but it's completely flawed because they're not properly calibrating. They don't have a reference point. They don't have any reference point to begin from the beginning. They make that up. They try to infer the reference point going backwards, which is often what times people do. They're looking for an answer, and then they're trying to find data in the past to match what the answer they're trying to find, as opposed to saying, this is what I have. Tell me, let me see what it tells me. Then you can check and confirm any hypothesis you have based on what it tells you. And what you're really trying to do is try to disprove your belief, which is generally not what I see a lot of people doing. Actually, my food's probably cooked. But I'm still feeling really stressed right now. I'm going to try to get the food. Hopefully that will solve what the issue is. I've had this morning, which there's no reason really for it. I'm going to I've got all day to go to immigration. I know how to get there. I've been there many times in the past. It's actually a pleasant trip. It's air conditioned the whole way because I'm taking the SkyTrain. And then once you get there, the place is pretty nice to hang out and wait until they do your thing. So there's no stress involved in that. I have food available to me. I can eat that. And I ate a little bit of food last night, and I had 2 hard-boiled eggs this morning. So I'm not actually, there's no real, I can't determine the cause. So I've got my data. I'm not exactly sure what the cause of what's triggering this. But because I have the data, I can check back. And I've been keeping records of my interaction here in Thailand since the first day. And every day I've been keeping a journal. And I plan to go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back through the journal and just say what happened in each day. Because I can't do it now, but I will say what happened and then get more of an overarching arc of what I've experienced. And like I said, right now I'm having a, quote, medical issue that maybe you're not seeing it. I'm feeling it. It's under control, but it's bothering me, and it's interfering with me. Fortunately, I don't have to do anything too serious today, so I can just pay attention to it and deal with it. But anyways, this is totally rambling, but I wanted you to see how much the rambling is, because if you watch any of my other videos and maybe once you get to know me more, you'll understand that I'm a very clear thinker, and right now I'm partially not clear thinking, and that's frustrating me, and partially just not able to get it out. But the not being able to think, not being able to act on something is really screwing with me in a really bad way. And since that's so critical to what I do in my life, I don't just take orders from somebody else. It's really a mess. Anyways, I'm gonna eat my food now, and it's 9 a.m. in Bangkok. I'm 30 days into my trip, so sawadee krap.